on, folks? It's your boy here. It's Jordan Bourne, you also known as Just Mo. Welcome back to everyone that is a regular here. How are you all doing? How are we all doing? And I'm good, thanks. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no one really asks me that anymore. How are you all doing? Well, today I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling good. You know, I'm feeling really nice, very nice and dandy. But yeah, got we've got some things to talk about today. Let's say that because the YouTubers versus TikTokers event was last night. If you don't know what that is, you've been living under a rock. It was the boxing event with the main card of Austin McDaddy Broom and Bryce Manchild Hall. Well, we're gonna have a little bit of fun with this one. Well, let's just say the event was a shambles, to be perfectly honest. It wasn't sensational. It was meh. Still to this day, the only decent boxing events that I've taken part with YouTube are the ones that KSI has been involved with. Just putting that out there. The Joe Willow one was brilliant. The first Logan Paul one was very good, and the second Logan Paul one was very, very solid. The fights were actually, some of the fights were actually alright. The rest of them were a bit stinky, a bit boring. But it's only when we got to, I would say, towards the first Jarvis fight up against the, I have roughly 50 million followers on TikTok, but yet nobody knows who the fuck I am. Yes, that guy. Let's just say Jarvis knocked this bitch out like it was nothing. It was a fantastic display. I feel it. Look at this. Could be. Look at, oh my. Bruh. Damn!
Gotcha, bitch!
Help me! Help me!
I'm telling you.
And performance fight by FaZe Jarvis, and what an incredible knockout that was. Even I actually saw the highlights. I actually, this morning I went and watched the fights, and I was like, you know what? Brilliant from FaZe Jarvis. What a way to get a W. Putting that prick sweet, clean on the canvas. Call it done. That guy did not want to be in the ring. FaZe Jarvis, I commend you. Now, let's go and talk about Deji Disappointment Olatunji. It sounds a little bit harsh when I say that, but let's be honest, it's an absolute disappointment. And he came out with a video saying that he's a failure, or whatever it was. I think it was the tweet. Yes, Deji, you are. I don't want to be mean or anything, but you are. When you went up for that weigh-in, you didn't look like you were conditioned well again to fight. You gassed out rather quickly, and Vinny beat you fair and square. Big shout out to Vinny Hackett because he slapped you. You got fucked up, boy. You got fucked up. You kept saying that this was your fight to come back and whatever. Deji, you clearly didn't take this one seriously at all. Again, I don't know what you were trying to do. Like I said, your physique. People go, oh, it's not about the physique. You could tell that the guy had trained a little bit, but it was the same thing that he did against Jake Paul. Clearly not hard enough. Because his cardio just wasn't good enough. He gassed out. It's not good enough, Deji. Stay away from boxing. Stay away from the boxing thing. Because you clearly don't know what it is to put that work in. You clearly don't. So, stay away from it. Figure out who it is that you want to be and all that sort of stuff. Just stay away from the boxing. Because you clearly keep putting everybody down. And also, you're making yourself look like a mug. Stop boxing, Deji. Stop it. Because it's not doing you any favours. Vinny, who really didn't look like he had much experience, even though he did well against you, you would have clearly beaten Vinny, if you actually had to stand for him like you did against Jake. That's why you were able to do a lot of damage against Jake, because you actually genuinely hated him. You didn't hate Vinny. You actually respected the guy. And sometimes that can be a downfall on a fighter. Once you have too much respect for a person and you go into a boxing ring, you don't really have the intention of going out there to that's just like to kill him, basically. Like, you don't have that in your mind. Like, you're not going in there going, I'm fucking this boy up or I'm fucking this person up. You went in there, you go, I've got respect for this guy. You know, I'm going to give him a good fight. He's going to be a good fight. You can't do that in boxing. You can't. You can show the respect at the end of boxing fights. Absolutely. Even before the fight, you can show them a modicum of respect. But when you're in that ring, you should have killer instinct. That's it. Your main goal is to get in there and fuck your opponent up and either put him on the fucking canvas, knocked out clean, or the ref ends the fight, or it goes to scorecards. But if you're wanting to get in there, end that fight early, you go in there with the intention of being a fucking killer and get in there and fuck your opponent up, get him on the canvas early, get that confidence there, and then end that fight. That's the main point of boxing. You want to get in there, and sometimes you may want a fight to end early, especially like Deji. He just didn't have the cardio again, and it wasn't like it was a lot of rounds. It was 8 rounds. Wasn't it 8 rounds? It was like 6 or 8 rounds. I think it was 8 rounds. Holy but Deji, you know, you got to give respect to people that get into a boxing ring, because it's not, you know, it's not easy to get into a boxing ring. It's not. I myself haven't had like a proper bout, but I have been in spars with friends, and we have gone all out on one another. One of them especially being a good friend, Brendan Fenton. We actually got in the ring and we actually did fuck each other up quite a bit. He actually busted my lip. And that's when I didn't really know much about boxing, but still gave him a good fight. Even he says that I gave him a good bout. But yeah, he actually caught me with a really nice uppercut, which I just didn't expect. Because I think I went for a punch and I think I somewhat connected, but he really countered really well with a really, really slick uppercut and just caught me by surprise. As I was going for the punch, my head was down, which is a rookie mistake, of course, and I just bang, ate it up. I ate it up, but it was still a really good, clean hit. And if my jaw was really, really piss wank, I definitely would have been knocked out, because that was a really good hit. I think Deji just needs to stay away from boxing. He clearly doesn't have it in him. He clearly doesn't have it in him to really, 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 really work. You know, put that work in. Like my friend Jordan Fisher, who has got a fight this, well, I would say next Saturday on the 19th of June. I believe that Extreme Sport will be live streaming this event. And I believe it's £9.99 to watch all 30 fights. You heard that right. 30 fights, Extreme Sports, live at Hoops Basketball Centre. Yeah, we don't have many things here to hold boxing events. We're in a small ass town. Go figure. But I am going to be there. I've got a table, etc. I'm there with my boys, and we're going to have a cracking ass time. It's going to be nice to have somewhat form of normality back to it. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get in there. Can't wait to see Fisher again. Can't wait to see the rest of the guys. And I can't wait to see my boys that I'm going with. We're actually coming around here for a few drinks at around noon. And then we're going for about 3 o'clock to the event. And yeah, let's have some fun with it, basically. So like I said, I will try and find the link toward it as well and put it in the description for you all. If you do enjoy your boxing, and of course it's still very, very cheap, and you've got 30 boxing fights. The first fight is at 2:30. The doors open at 2 o'clock. But of course, you cannot go unless you have purchased a ticket. So, and also if you are within the area. They've actually got a load of fights. There's MMA, boxing, and kickboxing on this card. I basically went and said, it's a little bit too stacked for my liking. It's a bit too stacked. 30 fights, they kind of went a bit too overboard for it. I was like, 15 fights would have been perfect if you wanted to put a fair few fights in. 30 fights is a bit excessive. I'm not going to lie, it is a bit excessive. But it's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good night. Let's be perfectly honest. It's going to be a really good night. Yeah, there's that. So, like I said, I will be putting I will try and find the link to the event for the £9.99 for, well, the coverage of the event and all 30 bouts into the description down below. To all of you boxing, MMA, and kickboxing fans that would like to watch some amateur boxing, which is not YouTube related. It's actually, none of them are YouTubers. None of them are. They're actual fighters. Amateur fighters. I think some of them may be semi-professional as well. I'm not, no. But yeah, if you just want to see it, I'll try and get the link. I'll get in touch with Fisher and I'll see what I can do. And yeah, if you want to watch that, it's going to start for 2:30. That's the first fight. And yeah, make sure if you are interested, go and or you can go on over to the Facebook page of Extreme Combat to basically go and have a look for yourselves. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Trust me, I'm going to be there as well. Probably off me absolute barnet, having a few bottles of Buckfast and getting absolutely shit-faced. Yeah, it's going to be the first time that I am going to be drinking like a man, like really badly for a very, very long time. Like I said, the world's starting to get back to normal a little bit now, and with this boxing event that is happening on Saturday evening, or on the 19th of June, it's looking to be amazing. So, yeah. But enough about Deji and Vinny Hacker. That was a disappointment. Unfortunate for Deji. I think it's now time that you moved on from the boxing. Because if you want to do boxing, you have to put everything in. Because like I said, my friend Jordan Fisher, he's actually done incredibly well. He looks incredibly in shape. He's lost a fair bit of weight through everything that we've been through the lockdown to get himself in shape for this fight next Saturday. And trust me, he looks good. He showed some sparring footage of him as well in the gym, and he actually looks really, really solid. So I cannot wait for the fight. And also just the event in general. Next up, we have none other than Seven Figure Giver versus Tyler Holder. Rigged. Absolute fucking farce. I'm glad that I didn't go and purchase for the entire fucking event or whatever. That is the biggest rigged shit I've ever seen in boxing. The biggest rigged thing I've ever seen. Gib won. Hands down. I'm not saying it because I'm British. I'm not doing it because I'm a Cyber. I like Gib. I'm saying it because it's factual. I know boxing. I watch boxing. I've watched it for a fair few years now. Gib won. You got robbed. It was rigged without a shot of a doubt because you look at the referee's face. The referee's face tells you everything you need to know. He knew. Gib won. He knew it. He had the look going, why the fuck have you done this? It's rigged. Oh, God, Gib. I feel so bad for Gib because Gib was dominant in the fight. Gib was sensational. I was actually really impressed with Gib. I was like, go on, son. Give it to him. Fucking rigged, without a shadow of a doubt. That was, in fact, actually the actual main event. That was actually the main event for me. Because, let's be perfectly honest. Well, we have the last fight of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Austin McDaddy Broom versus Bryce Manchild Hall. And ladies and gentlemen, Bryce Hall got knocked the fuck out. Oh, Manchild got what he deserved, and that is slapped the fuck up. Bryce calling out KSI, thinking that you can beat him. You do not know how to box for shit. You don't. It was proved against Austin. Like, you really think you're better than what you are? And just because you've been in a few street scraps doesn't mean you're a good boxer. Just because you've knocked people out that probably aren't necessarily the best of fighters, and with probably paper chins, and some of them may have been faked, who knows. You went and called out KSI when you got slapped. You got slapped up, Bryce. Oh, no.
Exactly.
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh, you little... I got you. Go. Go.
It's all just an act.
Stop! He's already dead.
Bruh.
It's Nick Broom.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah.
Oh my God! It's over! It's over! Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, no. I wonder how his subscribers or whatever are going to react to that, because, let's be honest, if I was Bryce, I would cry. I'd be crying myself to sleep. Because the amount of shit he spoke, I knew he was going to get slapped up through that press conference. After watching that press conference, I knew Bryce was going to get killed. I'm going to be honest. Like, you can just tell by Bryce Hall's body language. Remember that for a tune? But it was the way he held himself. It was the way he would speak over people. Just clearly insecure with his boxing ability. You could see it in his body language. The way he was holding himself, the way he spoke, or tried to cut people off, saying shit, swearing every 5 seconds. You're like, Bryce, you're shook. You don't know what to do. You're way in over your head, putting a bet down to Austin. Bryce, you're shit. You're shit. You're not amazing. You're not. Your technique was... What the hell was that? Oh, no. But all fair dues to Bryce, he got in the ring. You got to give him respect for that. But you get every bullshit thing that you're about to get now, Bryce, because the amount of shit that you were doing, the amount of shit that you were saying, you deserve to get all the memes that you're going to get. You deserve it. Because Austin fucked you up. Oh, and also, YouTube were the superiors with 5 or 6-1 of the bouts, I believe. Goes to show you that TikTok is really fuck all, really, isn't it? With untalented pricks. Yeah. Good one, TikTok. Yeah, it was one of them ones I thought, and all honestly, it was an okay event. Was it spectacular in any shape and form? There were a few good fights. The Bryce Hall Austin McBroom fight was actually decent to watch, because you just saw Wickle Boy getting absolute slapped about. Taylor Holder, they're exactly the same to me. Oh, most of these TikTokers. Taylor Holder and Gabe, massively rigged. Gabe was massively robbed. You go and look at the stats for the fight. Gabe just landslided it, lads and lasses. He landslided the fight. It should have been a Gabe unanimous win. He got robbed. He got massively robbed. Deji and Vinny, you need to, I think, possibly, without a shadow of a doubt, step away from boxing, because clearly it doesn't do you any favours, my man. I love you, Dej. I think I've always loved you. I think you've always been an incredible content creator and YouTuber, but you clearly don't do well with the boxing thing. You clearly don't put enough work in. Like you said, you've trained better this time, but there's a difference with training in boxing and training your cardio. I didn't think you needed to change much in the boxing front, from what I saw against Jake. Like, your boxing technique and your ability was there. It was good. You just needed a few tweaks here and there, but the thing that really needed improvement was your cardio. Your cardio was fucked. You were gassed after two to 3 rounds. Against Vinny, you were fucked after about the 3rd round. I'm like, it happens. And honestly, Dej, the best thing for you to do is to step away from it and maybe take some time off to really figure out what it is you want to do with yourself. And, because you clearly, I mean, I saw the little see you soon video or whatever it was, and I'm like, I hope you're alright, Deji. I really do hope you're okay, but the best thing for you to do is to take some time off and, you know, really think about what it is that you want to do. Because I don't think boxing is the right pathway for you to go down. Because you clearly just don't know how to put the actual full amount of effort into it. I'm not saying that you haven't put any effort into it. You clearly have with the boxing technique and everything you've learned. But it's your cardio, lad. Your cardio's fucked. You can't go in a boxing ring when your cardio's non-existent. That's why Conor McGregor got beat by Floyd. One of the main reasons why Conor got finished by Floyd was because his cardio was shit. If Conor actually had about 3 to 5 months of a training camp before the Floyd fight, I felt like it could have gone the distance, It could have, if Conor was fully 1 billion times percent like healthy and fit and cardio was at peak condition, I feel like the fight could have gone the full distance. Maybe even put Floyd on his ass, because Conor has got that power. He has. And if he had that amount of time, he's going to be able to get the technique down proper. So, who knows? But that's why when you have all this time to train for cardio, especially, you take full advantage of it, because when you get in the boxing ring and you're doing 8 rounds at least, you know that you have to survive 8 rounds of say 3 minutes. So you know that your cardio has going to have to be at the peak of peak condition. You look at these other big boxers and they've got to do 5-10 minute rounds or whatever. 12 rounds. They have got the biggest of the biggest peak conditions of cardio and physicality about them. You can't go in a boxing ring when your cardio shit, because as it's proved to many fighters in the past, and even now still in the present, it happens that if your cardio's wank, you're going to get finished. You're either going to get knocked the fuck out or put on your ass, and the ref's going to call it. That's if your cardio's shit. And clearly, Deji, your cardio wasn't very, very good. Yeah, you put up a good scrap. I'm going to put that out there. You put up a really good scrap. But when everything in boxing isn't tight with your technique and your ability, your aggression, and especially your cardio, if it's not all tightly knit and at its peak condition, sometimes if you don't even have one of them at your peak, you could easily lose. And the biggest one that you could possibly have is your cardio. Your cardio is one of the main important things. Your aggression is also extremely vital when you're in a boxing ring. Because when you're in a boxing ring, you see your fucking opponent, you're going in there to basically kill them. Like, you're going in there to fuck them up. You're going to be coming out on the other side of it with your fucking arm raised. With like a medal or especially a belt around your waist eventually. That's the whole point of it. You're not going in there to be all buddy or be best friends during the fight. You show respect, to him at the build-up. You show them their respect. Give them whatever it is. Give them their dues, etc. You get in that ring, you're a killer. Go in there, fuck them up. Then after the fight, embrace them, respect them, show them that you respect them. But you don't do it during a fight. And it just looked like to me that Deji just really respected Vinny a bit too much. I mean, Vinny's a really, really lovely fellow, it looks like. But you can't go into a boxing ring and go, oh, he's a nice guy, I don't want to hit him. It just generally looked like Deji just didn't have that killer instinct for the fight. And sometimes that can really fuck you over. But also to the fact that he just didn't have the cardio at the necessarily peak conditioned levels to get in that boxing ring to give a good fight to last 8 rounds. Yeah. But that is all my opinions on the YouTuber versus TikTok or TikTokers event. Like I said, there's a boxing event here in my hometown of Barrow-in-Furness, northwest Cumbria. Born and raised on the playgrounds where I spent most of my days. Oh, fuck's sake. Like I said, if you do want to watch all 30 fights, the first fight is at 2:30 in the afternoon. That's right, you heard that correct, folks. In the afternoon, not in the morning. Oh, Jesus. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good night. So, like I said, if you want to watch, I will try and see if I can put the link to Extreme Combat down below so that you guys and girls, if interested, can go and purchase for the £9.99 pay-per-view buyout for all 30 fights. 30 fights. And the first fight is at 2:30 in the afternoon. That is when we're starting. Fisher, my boy, he stated that he should be fighting around the time of between 4 and 5 o'clock. But then there's even more fights. They have, I will literally not even lie to you, 17 MMA fights. 17 MMA fights. They then have got 7 or 8, I think it's 7 or 8 kickboxing fights. And they've got about 6 or 7 boxing fights. Mad. Bit extensive. I feel like they could have cut off maybe half of the boxing, half of the, well, actually 2 of both boxing and kickboxing, and cut just over half of the MMA and put the other ones into their own separate card. That would make a little bit more sense, because it just feels a bit too stacked. But that's me, you know. If I was to be organising it all and everything, I wouldn't necessarily have 30 bouts. I wouldn't. I would have about, if it's a local fight night, I would say 10 to 15 fights at most. Maybe have 2 main card fights, just to spice things up a little bit. That's what I would do it as. And yeah, I would love to mix different sports in there. I would love to do that and have, like, say, 3 or 4 MMA fights, 4 or 5 boxing fights, and about 3 or 4 kickboxing fights. That would be perfect. That's generally perfect. You can't really complain with that. But yeah, it's one of them ones. But like I said, I'm just going there to get absolutely off me fucking barnet, have a bit of beer, and yeah, get off me absolute rocker. So yeah, I will see you all next time. That is my opinions on the YouTuber versus TikToker, a boxing event live from Miami. That was. So I will see you all next time. Like I said, the link will be down below for the Extreme Combat boxing event here in Barrow-in-Furness for next Saturday on the 19th. 2:30 the fight start. £9.99 for you to watch it. £9.99 for pay-per-view buy for all 30 fights. 30 fights! Make sure you don't miss it, because it's going to be a fun night. We'll see you all next time. See ya. Take care. Oh, boy.